Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and a very good evening from Great Britain, England, UK. I don't know why I said Great Britain. So the time here is 6 p.m. You're here with me, Nadeem Ashraf, and welcome to the show, Dawah Hour. It's been a while. We keep saying that, but we want to do good shows, quality shows. It's all about quality, not quantity, alhamdulillah. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to allow you to join in. Usually people react very slowly, give you a few seconds. Settle in, get your drinks ready, popcorn ready, get your intentions ready, get your notes ready, alhamdulillah. So I welcome everyone to the show, and I also welcome my co-panelists, inshallah. Today we have making their debuts, so our debutantes, alhamdulillah. So in a second, I'll ask you both to just give a quick introduction. And in your introductions, sisters, please include your name, where you're from, and your qualifications. What do you do in life? And I guess to start off with, why are you involved in the work of Dawah? So I first welcome Sister Zara Khan. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Sister Zara, how are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well.
Welcome to the show, sister. Jazakallah khair. You're not nervous, are you?
No, I'm not nervous.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Good, mashallah. So welcome to the show, sister. Yeah, if you want to give the viewers an introduction, inshallah.
Sure. My name is Zahra Khan. I'm born and raised in Berlin, but my parents come from Pakistan. So definitely do understand and speak Urdu as well. Alhamdulillah. What I've been doing, first and foremost, I'm a sister of 4 siblings and aunt, and this is one of the first duties I have. Also, I studied law and have an LLB in company law, and work currently in HR in a multinational company.
Okay, mashallah, excellent, sister. And you're based in Berlin, yeah?
Yes, I am. I do.
And you said you're driving. Are you driving? Because I remember you went on holiday. You're not coming back from holiday now, are you?
I actually was. I went to Croatia last week and to Bosnia as well. It was really nice, especially Bosnia. It was my first time, and I'm really amazed by the Muslim presence and the Islamic history in Bosnia. I didn't know about that.
So you're literally driving back from Eastern Europe?
No, I came back on Saturday.
Okay, mashallah. No, well, welcome to the show, sister. Jazakallah khair, and hopefully we can have a good discussion in the show. We also have Sister Aina, who shares an amazing surname. So, sister, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam. By the way, that surname is Nadeem. I didn't put it up there.
Alhamdulillah, just to avoid confusion. So, sister, yeah, again, same as Zara, give your introduction, Jazakallah khair.
Okay, I'm Anna Nadeem. I'm from Lahore. I'm currently pursuing my LLB from KHAIR, and I joined Dawah Motivation. I think it's been a year. And why I've joined it, because I believe it's the need of the hour, as you call it. This is why I've joined it.
Alhamdulillah. No, welcome. And also we had another guest, Sister Ariba, who's been an old-time promoter and producer show. She had some technical issues. May Allah make it easy. She might join us, she might surprise us. So, sisters, I can't see any comments. So if you kindly pop any comments or chat up, because for some reason when I access my chat, I get kicked out. So if there's any hellos and salam alaikums. Okay, so we got Throttlebird. Wow, brilliant. Throttlebird with an Israeli flag, but no Israeli flag. So yeah, salam alaikum. Yes, wa alaikum salam. We're well. How are you? We have Sioni Nuku. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Wa alaikum salam, brothers all the way from Australia. Aussie down under. Brilliant. Jazakallah khair. Excellent. We have Zoha Khairon Wala saying wa alaikum salam. So mashallah, excellent. Alhamdulillah. From India. Okay. Whereabouts in India? India is huge. We have Ariba Mujahid saying salams. Okay, so whilst we're getting the salams in, this show is basically it's the Dawah Hour show, and then I think the last, I don't know how long it's been now, subhanAllah. Maybe somebody confirm in the chat. It's probably 6-7 months, maybe even longer. And we've been trying to get through the series A to Z of Street Dawah. Although it's A to Z of Street Dawah, I would say, because today I'm kind of hosting and I'm going to take over, let's make it generally of Dawah. So because I know not everybody is involved in street Dawah. So we've been going through the letters, and today, what's the letter that we're going through? The
It's V.
letter V. That's it, V. So the letter V, we're nearly there. WRV. Yes, I mean we've got one more letter. I think that Q. How WRV. Yeah, that's it. Subhanallah. So this was an epic journey, and I think all those, if those of you are completely new, those of you want to get involved now or want to gain tips or anything, I would strongly recommend you go to the Stream Islam, go to their playlists, and go to this Dawah Hour show A to Z. I think you'll find a wealth of information, a wealth of tips on each letter. And some experienced people have come on, and maybe today they'll come on as well, inshallah. And we can learn a lot. So and take notes. So it could act like a manual almost for you guys, especially if you're maybe want to get involved in street Dawah or Dawah, or maybe start a team, inshallah. Saying that, we do want to interact with you. We want to make this show interactive. So don't be shy, brothers and sisters. There's a link somewhere. It's going to be shared with you in the chat or somewhere. Or if you saw the post of the links in there, by all means, come on, let's interact, let's chat, inshallah. So, sisters, we have the letter V. Does anyone want to kick off with any letter and a word and explain why they chose that?
I can start. The first thing I was already thinking, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of street Dawah is vibrant. Because to explain, it
Vibrant.
means vibrant because when you are doing street Dawah and you are reaching out to people that walk past, I mean, you don't know who's going to walk in front of you and who's going to stop and talk to you. So you have to be very prepared for anything that comes up.
Yes.
It could be someone with a very religious or understanding mind. It could be someone who's already very offended of religion. And you have to have this kind of all-rounder mindset and all-rounder attitude to kind of tackle anything that comes your way. And for that, you have to be very vibrant and be conversation as well.
Yes, I completely agree. So I'm trying to fix my angle here. Good point, sister. Good word to start off. And I think also, like you touched upon, the da'i, whether they're on the dawah stall, whether they are giving dawah in an event, whichever form of dawah, we need to be vibrant. We can't be dead or dull. We can't be boring. Yeah, we need to have this, a vibrant nature about ourselves, because that attracts people. It gives off energy, gives off positive energy, strong energy. I'm really big on that. I mean, when I see my role in the dawah, because alhamdulillah, I've been involved for many years, may Allah accept it, is that when I see brothers in the UK and I see them at the stall, sometimes they look so dead. They got their hands in their pocket. They're looking down because nobody's stopping, nobody's speaking. So, and you know what, subhanAllah, if you're doing a stall for 3 hours, usually the stall street dawah is usually 2 to 3 hours, sometimes longer, sometimes all day. If you're ever going to do street dawah, you don't expect that it's going to be like completely busy throughout. There's going to be quiet periods in between. So let's say one non-Muslim comes at the beginning, and then 2 hours maybe nobody comes. No one comes. It happens. So what are you going to do in those times? Those quiet times in between is very important. Those quiet times. That's when the da'i needs to be vibrant. Maybe give out flyers. Maybe approach people. Just look lively and vibrant. So it's a very good one. Sister Aina, do you want to add anything to vibrant or being vibrant?
Yes, I want to. Just like you said, you have to be not boring while you're doing the street dawah, and not just. I think when it comes to dawah or street dawah, you have to maintain that, that lively vibe of yours, because if you're giving your 100%, and if you're not being boring for the first hour, and for the next hour you're just all the way to that level 0, it's gonna affect the people around you a lot, and you have to maintain that. Plus there's this vibe that's been associated with especially religious people, that they're boring. And it's been so common nowadays that we have to change that. If we're not gonna change that, especially when it comes to dawah or street dawah, then I don't think it's going to be changed for the present so far. So we have
Yeah.
to change that thing about ourselves when we do the dawah or street dawah, that we have to bring that vibrant vibe in us, so people around us will feel that too.
You just touched on another word with V. Did you realize that?
Is it vibe?
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. And we can discuss that as well, Subhanallah, because vibrancy, if you're vibrant, then you create a vibe. You not only create a vibe with the non-Muslims and those non-Muslims who are going past. Remember, street dawah, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. It's not just you and that non-Muslim having a conversation. A lot of it is non-Muslims observing the table, observing the du'at, looking at, scrutinizing the du'at, right? The mannerisms, the energy, everything. So what you need to do is create a very strong, good vibe, good brotherhood. And that vibe in itself could be the reason of hidayah and guidance for people. So when a non-Muslim goes past and brothers are meeting each other, hugging each other, laughing each other, having food, having good conversations, imagine a non-Muslim who has issues with Islam and not interested. When he sees that brotherhood or sisterhood, they'll say, you know what, I want a piece of that. I want to be, that's a vibe, man. They use the word, that's the vibe, that's a vibe. They want to be part of that vibe. So 100% street dawah is all about the vibe, and vibrant and vibe. It's very important. So a really good word. And I like this word, mashallah. This should be synonymous with street dawah. Alhamdulillah. Before we go to any of the letters and words from the letter V, again, I want to call out people to come on, talk to us. If you're feeling shy because you've not combed your hair or because you haven't got a nice top on, then doesn't matter. Just do what these sisters are doing. Just do audio only, but come and chat to us. Come and tell us, either ask questions. Maybe you've got a word with V, which we haven't thought of. Maybe you've got a question about dawah. Maybe even if you're, for example, not involved in dawah, maybe you're not even practicing the deen yet. One of the things I do in training is one of the ways of inspiring Muslim brothers and sisters to get involved in deen, changing their lifestyle, is one of the ways is to be involved in dawah, is to come and join us. So if you just come on the show, you've seen it somewhere, call in, don't be shy, interact with us. We won't judge you. It's a very relaxed show, inshallah. So I expect a few people to come on. If you're not going to come on, then at least in the comments, if you have any questions, please put up your questions, inshallah, comments, and I'm sure the producer will put up on the screen and we can react to that as well as we go along. So we've got vibe, we've got vibe. Zahir says value, visit, and video. Okay. So I don't know if Zahir wants to explain that in the chat or maybe wants to come on. I met Zahir recently for the first time, not after a long time. First time we went to Newcastle during the Sweetness of Faith campaign, just like a month ago, I think. So Zahir, if you can't come online, if you can't come to the stream, do explain in the chat what you mean by value, visit, and video. So yeah, if you're going to give a word, you have to explain it. So objective incision. Wow. Okay, there's some really nice names. Dawah is definitely not one size fits all. The best dawah carriers usually adjust to their interlocutor social cues, etc. Okay, Sister Zara, what do you think of that comment, and any insights on that?
That
Do you
dawah,
disagree with it?
I do agree. I do agree. One size doesn't fit all when it comes to, although only when it comes to, approaching the conversation. But what sometimes you see when people discuss, I'm not talking about professional dais. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the average person that, for example, when I go to the office, sometimes we have discussions about Islam or topics that are related to religion. When it comes to those discussions, I would say then it's not the one size fits all, because it's hard to explain, but sometimes, and I know everyone knows this, sometimes when people try to kind of explain Islam to a non-Muslim who's not practicing at all any religion, they try to sugarcoat things, and they want to make it more, how do you call it, more apparent to others. But while doing it, they think they're doing it better. I mean, they are bringing it over as a nice thing, although they're actually kind of messing up with the initial or the principles of Islam. this, and they think they're doing this one size fits all. So you actually
Yeah.
have to understand what means one size. Which size are we talking about? The size of what thing? Then I
Yeah.
would say, depending on that, it would be a very good approach. I mean, a very good thing to focus on. And yeah.
No, no, really good points. In fact, this leads me. I'm very curious because, mashallah, you're in Germany, in Berlin. Have you? Are you? I mean, I'm guessing you're in like an office environment, and I
Right.
know office environment is not as easy because there's protocols, and especially Germany, who, as far as I know, are even more, let's say, passive or very quieter, and they like to keep themselves than compared to the Brits, let's say. But I don't know. I'm assuming. So,
Mhm.
are you one of those people who wait for a question to be asked and you've asked because I'm sure when you're in the hijab and you're visible, and then they
Yeah.
may be curious, or do you actually start the conversation about the purpose of life? And have you, yeah, any
Um,
experiences you've had?
I think there has been some change throughout the years. For example, when I was in school, I'm very much used to be the only one with hijab on in
Yeah,
school
subhanallah.
or in the class or anywhere else. I mean, I don't even notice this anymore, that I am actually the only one that wears hijab in this room. So I'm very much used to it, and that's why I also kind of expect people to ask me about it. A few days ago,
Mhm.
or a few weeks ago, we had a neighbors meeting in our courtyard of our flat. So we had all the neighbors there, and a few of them were new. And even though we're neighbors, we don't interact much. It's only this elevator small talk that we have. And then everyone goes, the night weather is nice, and how are you doing? And that's it. So when I went down, I actually was busy on that day, but I kind of still wanted to go down. I just grabbed my Coke and went down to kind of sit and talk with them. And it was actually very refreshing and nice. But even there were still a few people, neighbors that have been neighbors for over 5 to 6 years.
Mm.
But they still came up, and there was one lady that asked me, I very, very carefully, she was asking me, um, I'm just asking you, do you actually wear your hijab with your own choice?
Wow.
And I was like, I wasn't offended. I know people get offended.
Yeah.
And actually, to be very honest, I couldn't say if she was genuinely asking me or
Mm.
just for the sake of it. But she's actually a very nice neighbor. So I wasn't, I was giving her the benefit of doubt, you could say. So
Yeah, yeah.
I genuinely replied to her, telling her that, of course, I mean, if I would say I'm going to take off my hijab tomorrow, I could do it actually. I mean, there's not, I mean, no one's gonna stop me or force me, although
Yeah.
of course it can be. But I was explaining it to her, and there was another neighbor. She was not following the conversation. She came in a bit later, and she was like, "What are you guys talking about?" Someone else told her, and she was like, "Oh my God, how many times have people asked you this question already? And how many times did you have to explain yourself?" I
Mm.
was like, "No, no, it's fine. She can ask, you know." And that was the moment where I could actually make clear that I know you guys have those questions. You can ask me those. And at the end of the conversation, this lady, she told me, "Thank you very much for being so honest and open about it, and letting me ask." And this is
Alhamdulillah.
exactly the way where how it also goes in the office. People, and which I didn't know before, but slowly I realized people are sometimes afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though they don't have any bias, or I mean, they're not biased, but they still kind of are afraid to ask you those personal questions. Although, I mean, religion might be a personal thing, yes, but I don't think it should be so much personal, like, when you're asking someone about their political opinion. I think religion should be made something more public, because if I wear the hijab, I'm wearing it in public so people can see me and
Yeah.
notice that I am a Muslim, right? So they can ask me about being Muslim, and I kind of made it open in the office that you can ask me. And I'm very happy. Last this year in Ramadan, actually, we had lunch, and um, they
MashaAllah.
they actually, I mean, we were having lunch before Ramadan started, and
Yeah.
instead of me explaining to them Ramadan is gonna start, they were asking me in the lunch at the lunchtime. They were asking me at the table, Ramadan's gonna start next week, right? And I was like, yes, exactly. Tuesday or Wednesday. And they were like, Wednesday, it's going to start on Wednesday. They said they knew it better and more accurate than me.
And if I was there, I would said, and if you want the reward of the fast, say Shahada now.
Yeah,
And
exactly. But
alhamdulillah.
it's
Excellent.
slow.
Really good
I
insights.
like it that way.
MashaAllah. Okay, so excellent. So let's go to the next word. Sister Aina, do you have a word with V?
Well, I had this one versatile, but someone already took it.
Oh,
Can I add something to this one?
yes.
So, Sister Zara made a very good point about this one, but about the comment here, which is shown, like dawa is definitely not one size fits all. So I agree with this one because dawa is versatile, especially street dawa. You have 100 kinds of people. They all have 100 kinds of personality. You cannot just do the same pattern, the same script to every single one of them, because all of them have a different queries about anything you're doing. So it is changeable, and it varies from person to person, and we should be equipped with such things to handle and deal with such situations too.
Yes. Really good points, mashallah. Okay, I've got a few couple of words. I've got V for vital work. So vital. So I believe street dawah and dawah is extremely vital. You know, we've got this platform called Dawah Motivation, and there's a reason why we call it Dawah Motivation, because one thing I've noticed over the years for the Ummah is they don't understand the vital nature of the Dawah. I believe a lot of people still in the Ummah, whether it's in UK or Pakistan, because my work is in both countries and in between. People look at Dawah work as something on the side, something nice to do, but the main thing is only to seek knowledge. Only, I'm not belittling knowledge. Only seeking knowledge, or only doing charity work, or only improving your community. Subhanallah, as I say again and again and again, we can do all that under the umbrella of the Dawah, right? So I believe that street Dawah, I mean, it is extremely vital. And again, our Dawah and the way I'm involved in Dawah to non-Muslims and the Muslim youth. So street Dawah is as important. Again, youth club, under the platform Youth Club, I've been tinkering with something for the last nearly year now. And although I'm always doing Dawah to non-Muslims with various teams and tables and our pamphlets, but I've also created, alhamdulillah, with the help of brothers, a Dawah table, street Dawah for Muslim youth, because we this is really vital. We go to areas in UK, in some cities and then we go to areas where we know the Muslim youth are hanging out, and it's vital to be there, because these are the Muslim youth who are involved in gangs and crime and haram and laziness towards the salah. Where are they? So I believe that every community, every practicing brother or sister, I think it's vital for them to engage with the Muslim youth, actually talk to them. And so, hence that's why the vital nature of street dawah comes. But even dawah itself, the world needs dawah. It's vital in this stage, because the essential nature of dawah is to call to Allah, it's tawheed, and the world needs tawheed. So vital is one. Um, do you guys agree with that? Any quick points to be added to
Yeah,
the vital work, or maybe you disagree? You
I
have that right.
I want to agree on that, and also want to share that I exactly the thing that you just said. The world needs dawah. I was thinking about the dawah stalls that we have in those areas that you mentioned, where the youth actually hangs out, even the Muslim youth.
Yeah,
It's actually needed because me personally, to be honest, I haven't seen any dawah stall in downtown Berlin.
subhanallah.
And even when I was in Croatia last week, it's completely different. I mean, there when I was there, I was saying, Alhamdulillah, we have so many Muslims in Berlin, because if you walk around here or in London as well,
Yeah,
if you walk in a hijab, no one's going to turn around and look at you for wearing the hijab, because people are very much used to it now. But in Croatia, it's completely different.
no.
In 1 week, and I've visited multiple cities, I've only seen one or two women with hijab on, and they were tourists as well.
I'll say it's very brave of you to visit Croatia, because given the history and what it's like, and I mean, I know
Actually,
it's
a
not, I know it's
sister-in-law,
not Serbia, but
I have a family in Croatia, actually. My
oh,
brother-in-law is
subhanallah,
Croatian, and he's also a convert. So that's why we
Allah
visited.
Akbar, subhanallah. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine because of history and this and that. I'm not judging any Qurats in general, but from the history, given the history, I mean, certain areas, you're not going to get. It's not Islam friendly, but mashallah, no, I agree. And so, sister, the reason why, one of the reasons why there's no stalls for Muslim youth in downtown Berlin, and you probably know all the hot spots, right? I know where the spots are in London. I know where the Asian areas are. I know where the guys are going to be hanging out, whether they're smoking or weed or whatever. But one of the reasons is because they're waiting for me and you to do something and go there and do something, inshallah. And so I want to be the awwaloon wa sabiqoon, right? To try that, inshallah. And that's what I do. I always, me and other brothers, astaghfirullah, it's not about me, a'udhu billah, but other brothers, we try and go to places where other people don't go to. And that's why the work is vital. So maybe, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, we can plan something. It just needs a bit of planning. It doesn't need a massive amount of brothers. I could go with 2-3 brothers and always have a go. Because you know what? Linked to this, I think it's spiritual. How is it spiritual? You see, a lot of us want something done, right? We need this to be done. This should be like this. It should be like that. There should be like this. There should be a team. But the thing is, this should and how and it should be like this. That will not happen until you take some steps for that. We need to take a step, right? We need to, and we will make mistakes. I did a Dawah training the other day, and I said, not in knowledge. Be careful how we say that. Not in knowledge, but in Dawah, you can make mistakes, but not in knowledge. So, for example, the styles and means. And the best way to learn I'm a Dawah trainer, others are Dawah trainers. I said the best Dawah trainer is mistakes. Mistakes is your best Dawah trainer. If you can own mistakes and learn from them, you will learn so much. That's the best trainer. So, we could try something, trial always. I'm always experimenting, and something like that. Maybe in the near future, we can plan something, and you never know. And if we do that, inshallah, the malaika, if we're sincere, inshallah, the malaika are making notes of it and report to Allah, and Allah's watching this, and then Allah will open ways. Yeah, because many times we do street dawah to Muslim youth, we go to an area and I can see the look of the brothers again. What are we doing here? Like, there's no one here listening. But the fact that we're making that effort, we've actually gone out of our way. We've gone out of our comfort zone. We've entered the zone of awkwardness, right? Because it's not easy. I mean, for me, I've been doing it for a long time. I don't really care what people think, right? That's me, alhamdulillah. But other brothers are thinking, look, I'm standing here. There's no one here. What are we doing here? Is there any point to this? No, but the point is you're making an effort. Start something, and then Allah will open ways for you. Allah will open doors for you. But no, alhamdulillah, excellent. So we got the vital, we got versatile. I want to add, Sister Nabia, and that was actually going to be my next word. But yeah, visionary. Sister Nabia, do you want to explain in the chat? We're still waiting for Brother Zahid to explain his views. But yeah, visionary and vision. Sisters, Sister Aina, do you want to comment on vision?
Yes, definitely. By the way, Brother Zahir Iqbal is giving out very good ones. I might just copy them. He's giving out very.
Oh yeah, it's easy to give words out, but you have to explain it as well.
He's giving out very good ones. So when you talk about vision, I think you need to know your why if you're doing something, because if you want something to work on it longer, let's say more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, but if you want your project to, if you want yourself to work on a project for a longer period of time, then you need to know why you're doing that in the first place. Yes. And also, if you don't want to get bored or tired of it, if you don't know why you're doing it, and then it's just gonna be a burden at the end of the day.
Do you have a vision for Dawah for yourself?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you want to share?
Yes.
Do you want to share now?
So yeah, sure. My vision for now about Dawah is, there are a lot of people, misconceptions, thousands of misconceptions maybe, and my vision for now regarding Dawah is, I want to make sure that, of course, I might not be able to deconstruct all of those misconceptions, but at least I want to be a part of such people, such gatherings, such teams, such conversations, all those practices, all that hard work that who or which are doing all of those practices and work, and they're doing all that hard work to deconstruct everything or anything that is problematic for today's Muslim youth. and the non-Muslims nowadays, especially those liberal ideas or any vision which is not coherent with Islam.
Okay. What about your personal vision in the dawah?
This is my personal vision.
That's
They're
your
both the
personal.
same. Yeah, they're both the same.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Before I come to Sister Zara, because vision is very, very important. Because I think if someone has a vision for dawah, then that means they are serious about the dawah. They actually want to commit. It helps your commitment as well. So I would like everyone, again, I'm going to call upon people, don't be shy. Do come and join us. If you're backstage, come on, interact with us, talk to us. If you don't want to put your video on, you can switch your video off and put the audio on only. So yeah, do come on and share your ideas. And what I want to hear is your vision in the dawah. Vision for the dawah in general, so for the dawah in general in the world, and also your personal vision in the dawah. So I want you to hear some of these visions, inshallah. Let's inspire each other. So if you can come on, then add. If not, then leave it in the comments, inshallah. And please, sisters, if you can make a note of that, I ask you both to make a note of that and do add it, put it on the banner here so we can discuss it. But yeah, so personal vision and the dawah, and a general vision for the dawah. Sister Zara, any points on that?
Yes, there came up a few things in my mind. For example, first thing is, before I mess up the order, first thing is the vision. Vision in life regarding anything you do or generally in life is very important. Life without vision is kind of a waste. So once you find your vision in life, you have a course that you take in life, and that will actually lead you to a place, or make you make progress. So this is one thing which is very crucial in life. But when it comes to dawah, I think we should always remind ourselves again and again, and also set the priority for our vision. The main vision for dawah is actually guidance, and also attaining the how do you call it, the that Allah is happy with us, that we're actually doing this for Allah only, and not for publicity, or that okay, I will become one of them. Some people, they like this prominent point
Yeah,
of becoming.
maybe after the show, you two will become famous and known, and people want your autographs.
Astaghfirullah. But I mean, exactly this thing, and we have to
Yeah,
be very, very honest with ourselves here.
yeah,
Um, it gets, I mean, your mind and this waswasa, this comes in very, very quickly. You come up, for example, if I come here at this show, this is the first time I've joined a live podcast here on Dawah Hour. If I share this in, for example, in my circle, and if this mind comes, I mean, this thought comes up in my mind, okay, my friends are going to watch me, they're going to think, oh my God,
yeah,
she's alive. And if this starts, I mean, if this circle starts in my mind, this is going to go very quickly in
yeah,
in the wrong way. And
yeah.
all the effort, all the time I've taken out will go to waste then.
Not a good, very, very important that the vision has to be sincere, and alhamdulillah. So look, I want to add that you see, from a street dawah angle, our vision should be for all teams is that every single non-Muslim that we interact with in those 2 3 hours, inshallah, either they become Muslim there and then, and that's not always the strongest, or that they actually go and research from the conversation they've had or the leaflet they've had. So every single non-Muslim that we give a leaflet to, every single non-Muslim that we've spoken to, that they have begun their journey for the truth of Islam. That because we believe everyone has a fitrah, so we've sowed that seed, and that seed will grow, inshallah, and that fitrah will be uncovered, it'll be unclouded, and they finally come to realization that Islam is the truth, and before it's too late, become Muslims. That's one vision. And of course, my other side to this vision, again, street dawah, is that every single Muslim youth that we engage with, whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours, whether it's even we just gave a leaflet and said Assalamu alaikum and they didn't stop, or we had a 10-minute conversation, that conversation, the vision is that that's their process or their start of their change. They change their lifestyle because they spoke to us. We've made them think, we made them reflect, we've sparked something, inshallah, yeah? And that every single practicing Muslim, I mean, look, Numbers wise, it doesn't matter. But let's say 2 to 3 hour stall. Me and brothers, we will speak to maybe all together maybe 40, 50, maybe on a good day even more. So 40 youth we've spoken to, maybe in teams or individuals or in pairs, and inshallah 40 to 50 people we've changed. And imagine if we keep doing that, every single team, every single city in Europe, around the world, in Pakistan, we keep impacting once a week 30 to 40 youth, and they transform. That's how you change the world. That's the vision. We change the world through dawah. And I want to link this back to Rasulullah because he is Uswat al-Hasana. He is the ultimate example. He is the perfect example that we take from, right? When you look at his life, when you look at the seerah, when you look at the world before Rasulullah was born or before he became a prophet, I always advise everyone to study the history of that era, that in fact the world. And most historians, maybe Edward Gibbon, Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, and maybe other eminent historians, if you look at how they describe this 600 AD or 500, the 5th century, 6th century, it was a very dark world. Yes, the Romans and the Byzantines and the Persians had their empire, but moral decay, darkness was there. The world needed changing. The world was a mess, just like the world is a mess right now. Just like the world is a mess. So when you look at that, and when the Prophet came and he started his prophetic mission, and he had his illustrious, amazing Sahaba, these superheroes, helped the mission in 23 years, right? And then obviously ensuing when the Khulafa came, in those 30, 40, 50 years, as again, what historians said, they changed their world, literally. They removed oppression. The kind of oppression was there. They removed oppression, they established justice, they established peace and prosperity, which the world writes now. And how did they do that? All of that? Dawah to Tawheed. They gave Dawah to Tawheed. They changed the world through Dawah, subhanAllah. They made Allah's word the highest. That's the whole point. So that's the vision, inshallah, yeah? So that should be our vision. One of the many reasons we're involved in Dawah is our vision should be that I'm engaged in this 2-3 hours, once a week or once a month. I'm on the stall, engage with non-Muslim Muslims because I want to change the world. Inshallah. That's the vision, because that's the vision that the Prophet had. Anyway, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. What we got? We got Minahil. For me, a vision of Dawah is to explain the reality purpose of life in a manner that is intelligible to him. It aims to. Okay, good. Let's have some specific visions. Like, my vision is I want to become I don't know, a Christian one day in a platform. Could be personal vision. Another vision could be that I want to write a book for the Dawah. Let's have some specific things, if any, inshallah, yeah? I see my emoticon says 13 chat, but yeah, I can't access it. So if you guys want to read anything out, inshallah.
Yeah, there is visible. Be visible. Look like a Muslim. That is dress code.
Be visible. Okay. Any comments on that, sisters?
I think that's it's true. I mean, if you're not looking different, then I don't think people will come to you.
If you're not looking different, people won't come to you.
Yeah, to some extent, maybe.
I don't know about
it
this
depends.
one. It's interesting. Again, Zahir is coming out with all these words, but we need tafsir on this, brother. We need exegesis on this. It could mean anything. So be visible, look like a Muslim. I mean, what are you saying? That if we wear, for example, if you wear jeans and t-shirt, are you saying that's wrong? Are you saying that some people say shalwar kameez is the Muslim dress code? Somebody says it's thobe. Somebody say no, it's the lungi. So what do we mean by it? So I'm not sure if it's an interesting one. Be visible. Yeah, I mean,
and at the same time, it could have the opposite effect as well. No one will come to you. Yeah.
I mean, what I'm thinking of a street dawah point of view is if you are setting up a stall and you're a leaflet, you don't want to be in the corner of a street behind some big block or some sort of street furniture when nobody notices you. So I guess what he means is be visible instead of you and your stall to be visible. You and your stall to be visible to the onlookers, the people going past. So that's what he probably means by it. So that's a very interesting one, inshallah.
I have a question on that, just a counter question kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
What if someone converted, but before they converted, they had a very different lifestyle? For example, they're covered with tattoos, and let's say they had those big earrings that they put in their earlobes. and now they've taken it off. Doesn't go, the loops, they don't go away. They just keep hanging, and then they're covered with tattoo and whatever. Maybe they had a lot of piercings, but they're Muslim now.
Yeah,
Everything is forgiven, and they've become very practicing,
yeah.
right? Um, and on top of that, let's say they can't grow a beard, because a lot of men, they can't grow a beard because of the,
Yeah.
and they want to do and or make or kind of conduct a Dawah stall somewhere. What would you say? Are they
Yeah,
not?
I think they are more than welcome because you see, a lot of us Muslims and even practicing Muslims, we have a lot of prejudices. We are still, I'm talking about practicing Muslims. We have a lot of ignorance, and when you have someone like that, how you described it, who've changed their whole life, who've left their old lifestyle of, hedonism and whatever they used to do, because with tattoos and earrings comes a certain lifestyle, right? Then they've left that, sacrificed that, they've sacrificed nafs. I think that's a beautiful example, and that's the kind of examples we need in the stall. So if they don't mind coming on the stall, then 100% I would welcome in my team any day. And I think it force people to think, yeah, the brother at the same time will have to have someone who has a lot of sabr and hikmah, because we should expect people to give dirty looks, or we should expect people to question him, but he should expect that. But
Yeah.
then once he gets that, he should have the sabr to think, okay, brother, I know why you're saying that, but let me break that down to you. And then so yeah, I think from my point of view, I think it'd be beautiful. I think it'd be an example for everyone.
Right.
Alhamdulillah.
Would agree
Excellent.
on that.
Yes. Any other? We got virtual. Okay. So yeah, virtual. So again, this doesn't apply to street dawah, but so a lot of street dawah teams. If I give example, shout out to my boys, One True Message Foundation, OTMF, previously known as Islam Handlo, and then we got other teams in Leicester Square and Stratford and other places, mashallah. A lot of these teams have become big online because what they do the street dawah, they make a recording, with good mic and good visuals, good equipment, and then they put it on, for example, TikTok, and then they become really, and that inspires a lot of people. It inspires people to get involved in dawah, and it inspires people to look into Islam as well. So those street dawah conversations, when they're put on the virtual world, it generates huge interest right now. So yeah, right now, since COVID, virtual dawah has become as important, if not bigger, than street dawah, or face-to-face dawah. So yeah, really interesting point. Any comments on virtual dawah, sisters?
No, I mean, you mentioned it
Yes.
for me. No, go ahead.
I think as the age in which we are right now, virtual lawa is as important as physical lawa. I
Yep.
think it should be like I said, the other way around. But we should have a look at it in its virtual aspect. But at the same time, physical meetups are important too. But yes, if and nowadays, if people know you virtually, they will know you physically too. That's how it
Yeah.
works nowadays. So I
Yeah.
think yeah, it's important.
One
Yes.
thing,
This is virtual. This show is virtual, right? So
exactly.
there you go. We're in different countries. We were just discussing earlier 5 different countries, and it was only made possible because of the virtual world. So yeah,
And
excellent.
we have more opportunities because of this virtual thing.
Yeah, bigger reach. Yes. Not just bigger reach, but those people who would never meet, in the far corners of the US or far corners of India or China or Russia. You never know, because of the virtual world, they've looked at Islam. Some of the people, subhanAllah, still don't know what Islam is. It's completely alien to them. Yeah, excellent. Okay, mashallah. Brilliant. Okay, I want to add one but before I add another word, again, anybody want to come and join us on this stream? Anybody want to come and call in? Anybody want to ask a question? Please join us. Don't be shy. Again, if you want to keep your videos off, that's fine. You come audio only. Brothers, sisters, both welcome. So do call in. The link is there. Do you guys know how to call in? I'm asking in the chat. Do you guys know how to join? Because sometimes it's not as easy. You're looking like, how do I join? How do I join? So even if you don't know, ask the question, right? And inshallah, the link should be provided. So while we do that, I want to add the word vigilant in street dawah. We have to remain vigilant because number one, you need to be vigilant of your audience, the kind of people over there. You need to be vigilant, for example, in terms of if you set up a stall in one part of the city center or town center, but the flow of people is on the other side, then the da'i needs to be vigilant. He can't just become passionate and Allah hope for the best. No, he needs to be vigilant there. And he should be like, okay, look, maybe we should move over there, right? This not just street dawah, but I've seen this in campus dawah in Pakistan. When I do campus dawah, the local society, the university society, they always give us like such a dead place that we just set up your stall there. But a vigilant da'i looks around, knows the circumstances. Look, actually, you know what? That's where the crowd is. That's where the beauty is. That's why are we not there, right? That's only because I'm aware of my surroundings. Be vigilant. The other aspect of vigilance is to be, for example, if there's a threat, if you're an amir of the stall, you should be taking care of the brothers and sisters or brothers colleagues in the dawah, because some areas can be very not a bit dangerous. So certain areas, if you should know about the area before that. You should be vigilant about the area before that and on the day as well, because you don't know where the threat comes from. Although alhamdulillah, in general, like 99%, alhamdulillah, people are really good. Even people that hate Islam, they never resort to any physical violence. But again, the time and age we're living in, Islamophobia, we need to be vigilant. We need to be, aware of this.
Right.
Anything to add on that?
No, I can only agree on that.
Okay. Nabia says, don't be violent now. Yeah, 100%. It is. Look, you can defend yourself. Of course you can. You don't just sit there. But you should try and diffuse violence as much as possible. One of the things in dawah is that we should have hilm, forbearance. This is a forgotten sunnah, forgotten trait of Rasulullah. Look at the forbearance he had. He saw people like Sumayya get tortured, Khabbab bin Ibn Arat, and many of the Sahaba. And what did he say? And subhanAllah, the story of, I can't remember the name of the Sahabi who during the treaty of the Hudaybiyah, when the Muslims came outside Makkah, and a lot of Muslims felt that this was a defeat, but in the wisdom of the prophetic hikmah and wisdom, they were required to come back another year, and it was good for the Muslims, but they didn't see that. So the Sahaba felt a bit disgruntled or whatever, and even one Sahabi he was imprisoned, a young Sahabi is imprisoned, right, in Makkah, and he fled because he saw the Muslims there, and the Prophet, because he had an agreement, he had to tell him to go back. I mean, that's how much can you bear? Allahu Akbar! You telling someone to go back. So not only did the Prophet see torture, he didn't react. He saw violence, he saw persecution, boycott, but he only reacted with hilm, with perseverance and patience. So yeah, absolutely, really interesting. We can't, there's no place of violence in dawah. We are calling to Islam, and we are calling with hikmah and beautiful preaching according to Surah Al-Nahl, inshallah. Any other comments on violence, sisters?
Yes, I want to add something. When we talk about violence, I think we can't even be harsh, but like violence is out of the talk. Like we cannot even be near to harshness.
Yes.
Even though being harsh and being violent are not the same, like violence is way above being harsh. So
Yeah.
I just
We can't be verbally violent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this just reminded me of the example of when we lost the war of Uhud, and Prophet was really angry at the Sahabas, and when the ayah came down saying to the Prophet that even if you would have had been a little bit harsh, they would have left you.
Subhanallah.
So this actually serves as a message to all of us, because nowadays there's an extreme line of keyboard jihadis. When we're talking about virtual dawah, we have so many billions of keyboard jihadis. Well, not
Yes.
billion, but I just exaggerated maybe.
Yeah.
So that's it starts from being intolerable, then it moves to being harsh, and then it moves to violence. So it's all a process, and we need to work on that too.
Yes, 100%. Sister Zara, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to add is dawah means calling to Allah. So if you would just replace the word, because dawah is like the Arabic word, and we sometimes forget the translation of it to actually understand what it means.
Yeah.
Calling to Allah. If we would just, instead of saying dawah, we would just say calling to Allah, and then we would say violently calling to Allah. It doesn't make any sense, right?
No, no,
So
subhanallah.
so maybe we should just remind ourselves what it means, calling
Yeah.
to Allah, and then
You
being.
know, good point, Masha. Jazakallah. I was gonna say, Brother Raja Zia, really eminent Dai of Pakistan, Islamabad, amazing workshop speaker, more view than attitude, as he's known now.
Yeah.
I remember he used to give an example that you don't like when you do invitation, you don't slap someone. Come to dinner at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
You don't give you don't invite, you don't give dawat to someone by slapping them or be violent towards them, right? It doesn't make sense. It's oxymoronic. So it's saying you're exactly what you're saying. You have to give in dawah. It has to be by nature non-violent. It has to be by its essence. It has to be non-violent. It's a square triangle, right? As we say in philosophy, it's like it doesn't make sense. It's completely opposite. It's a fallacy. But yeah, really good points, mashallah. Just the last kind of 5 minutes left. We can take maybe one more word. We have a caller, I think. Zed. Zoha. Assalamu alaikum, sister Zoha. Khairun wala.
Muslim, sir.
Khairun wala is like someone who has a lot of khair in them, yeah?
Yeah, sir.
Mashallah.
My ancestor.
Where,
My ancestors. Sorry.
Go ahead, sister.
My ancestors were Khairuddin. It's basically started from Khair.
Oh, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. And the khair is still continuing because you're with them and you're do a lot. Your amal bi maruf, you're enjoying the good and the khair. Alhamdulillah. Sister, where are you from? Which city?
Sir, I'm from India, Aligarh.
Aligarh. Okay. And what do you do?
I'm pursuing Masters in Technology, Alhamdulillah, from Aligarh Muslim University in Environmental Engineering.
Wow, that's very, very specific. Mashallah, excellent. Alhamdulillah. So, yeah, do you have a question or did you want to add something?
Actually, I want to add a word.
Okay.
Yes. I want to add the vigorous. We have to
vigorous.
We have to be very energetic and mentally present. That we should know how to react to a person. If a person in front of you is continuously asking something and you don't have any, you are like, what I have to do now? This should not be there. If you are in Dawah, you have to be very calm, and at the same time, you have to be very energetic and mentally present. So,
okay, very good word.
Yes, being vigorous, it's very important to be vigorous in Dawah.
Okay, very good word. Yes, sisters, do you want to add to that? Do you agree with that or disagree?
Yes. Jazakallah khair for this word. It's actually really, really good. Very important as well, because putting yourself out there for people to approach, and then also be the kind of first-time contact person, kind of for your questions. And we all know that there are people since the times of the prophets. There are people that don't ask you questions because they want to know, but they ask you questions to provoke you. And handling those people requires immense self-control. And not only that, but also sorry, I lost my point, but yeah, that was the point that I wanted to make, that you have to have immense self-control to also kind of handle those people.
Yes. Sister Aina, anything to add to that?
Well, she basically covered everything, but this vigorous word, I think this sits at the core of our entire conversation, because when we are having a street dawah, we're basically having conversations. So those conversations are the basic part. I think they are the entire part of whatever we're doing at those places. So if we're not physically or mentally active in those conversations, I don't think there is any point of that. So being vigorous in being vigorous in those conversations, in those dawah stalls, it's one of the most important points in the entire process.
I agree. And, I want to add a point to this, and this will be a closing remark, and then I'll get closing remarks from you guys, inshallah, because the hour is up nearly. The way I look at this word, and Jazakallah, this is a very interesting word you put up, is that I believe there's not enough vigor in the dawah. I see vigor as effort or lack of effort, right? That could be how much vigor we're putting in the dawah in general. How many hours are we putting? There's one scholar, he was asked a question a long time ago. He was asking, Sheikh, how much effort or how much vigor should we put in the dawah? He goes, until you are mentally, physically, spiritually, and everything else exhausted. Until you are mentally, physically, spiritually exhausted. And that's quite deep. If you look, that requires a lot of sacrifice. Because again, who's our example? It's the best generation. It's the best human being and the best generation. Rasulullah and the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, right? And when you look at them, when you listen to their lives, the sacrifices, the vigor, the passion, not only in the battles, but in seeking knowledge, in worship, in ibadah, subhanallah. It's like the vigor is on another level. So if you want to, we need to have that. And I speak about myself. We are not even giving as much effort as we should be doing, in our ibadah or in our dawah or seeking knowledge. So when when generally we should be doing that as teams and as a team and teams, but also in the conversation when you're speaking to someone, a non-Muslim, let's say, and I say this in training, we should be genuinely passionate anyway. There should be passion. There should be vigor in your conversation. There should be a beautiful force in your conversation. It should come from the heart. Imam Ali said, what comes from the heart goes to the heart. You can't be like, yeah, so I want to tell you about Islam. Basically, we believe in Allah. I mean, subhanAllah, where's the vigor on that? Where's the passion, right? So we need to have that vigor in our conversations, especially when we're about to say the ayah of the Quran. I often give brothers and sisters a tip that when you're having a normal conversation with a non-Muslim Muslim youth, you can use whatever tone you want. But there should be a vigor in your tone when you mention Allah, the word Allah. It's a heavy word, right? Yeah. And when you quote an ayah of the Quran, it should be said with vigor, with passion, with energy. It should come from the heart. It should be said as if you're going to be moved by it, let alone the non-Muslim. So excellent word, Jazakallah khair. Those are my closing remarks. Before we finish the show, any closing remarks from Yusuf Zahra Khan?
No, but I remembered what I wanted to say before when she said vigorous, and she mentioned why it is important. The two persons that came up in my mind were immediately Dr. Zakir Naik and Ahmed Didat, because when you think of how they dealt with the questions and how they behave on stage or wherever they were, that was exactly what I would call vigorous.
Yes, subhanAllah, excellent, mashallah, excellent. Sister Aina, last comments, and then we can end the show, inshallah.
Last comment on the same word?
Word or just general closing remarks?
Sometimes there's this recent ad I watched, and it was about marketing, and there's this guy who says, here's a pencil and sell me this pencil. So the guy just says, oh, it's a black pencil, and there are like few other 10 people he takes an interview, and at the end the person who says sell me this pencil, he goes by saying that if you don't know why you're selling this pencil to me, you're not gonna sell this pencil to any other person either. Yes. So if this basic rule sits true for basic marketing, I think this sits true with every other thing we're trying to convey from our side.
Yes, excellent.
We need to know, we need to be vigorous here, and we need to know this. And like you said, when we're quoting an ayah of the Quran, we need to be vigorous because we're quoting the word of Allah. When we're quoting Allah himself, we need to show that vigor, so the other person can know that there's something different about this part of the conversation. And one thing I'd like to share is there was this girl, sometimes there are some people, they're saying really stupid stuff, but they're saying it in such a way that it makes you want to listen to that part of the conversation. So it's because they have this tone in their conversation and in their personality which reflects that you want to be a part of it, even though it might not suit you or it might not be to your interest, but it's that tone in their conversation which changes up the entire thing. I mean, if we look at social media, there are a lot of things which are not up to the intellectual level, but they are doing it in such a way, they're doing it in such a vigorous way that it makes people want to engage in it. So I think this, like I said before, Sister Zoha pointed out a very good word, and this sits at the core of the entire conversation, being vigorous.
Jazakallah khair. Before we end, I just saw a flurry of comments and words. I don't know where they were all show, but I do want to acknowledge that we did see them. Maybe if you can just quickly, like a 10-second go off them, because people make effort to make the comments and then we don't put them. So Zahir Van, Dawah Van, we can have a Dawah Van, very good. Volunteering as at the core of the Dawah. Without volunteers, there's no teams. Very good. Vocal, we need to be vocal at Dawah. We can't be shy. We need to be loud. We need to make Allah's word the highest. Variation in the Dawah, variation of approaches, how to start the conversation, how to initiate, how to approach. Brilliant, very nice. Versatility, yeah, we need to be, I think we covered that in the beginning. We need to be versatile in our approach. Verified, very good. Yes, our knowledge needs to be authentic. It needs to be verified with the Quran and Sunnah. We can't speak from our desires. We don't want to make anything up. Stick to what you know. Value, Dawah is very valuable. Street Dawah is very valuable. Dawah it's still going, and we should place a lot of value to the Dawah. Virtue, there's a lot of virtue to Dawah, lots of rewards, lots of good deeds, lots of rewards in Street Dawah. If we knew the virtues of Street Dawah and the benefits, we would be doing Dawah, Street Dawah every day. But alhamdulillah, so there's great comments, mashallah. We should visit our non-Muslim neighbors and friends, alhamdulillah. So look, if we missed out your comments, don't worry. We will have other shows coming on. And I hope the sisters enjoyed it today. They made their debuts. So Jazakallah khair, sisters are coming on. I hope you enjoyed it, mashallah. And may Allah accept your time and effort. Sister Zara parked up the car. We'll end the show. We will please stay tuned, whichever social media you used and how you connect with us for the next show. And we will continue this and make dua for the acceptance of the show. So Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. جزاك الله خير.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.